The roll call, please.
Councilmember Ronayne. Fauberg.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Reif. Johnson. Reinbold.
Present.
Langer. Norvstrup.
Present.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Present. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Present.
First order of business will be to approve this week's meeting's agenda. Can I get a motion to do so?
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Norvstrup. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving along to our approval of the minutes from the meeting last week, September 19th. Take a motion to approve those minutes as printed.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Does anybody have anything runs askew of what was printed? Anything to change? All right, then all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. No one has signed up for our open forum, so we'll move along to our consent calendar where we've got a handful of things, primarily plat related. Can I get someone from the council to make a motion on our consent calendar?
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Norvstrup and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Any input from the council members in attendance on any of these consent calendar items? All in go
One
ahead.
question, Mr. Mayor. Can we just get an overview from Brett about how neighbors are notified when there is a rezoning coming up as an ordinance?
One, it's required to be published in the American News, and two, the property is posted prior to the rezoning,
Prior to tonight?
prior to the Planning Commission meeting
The one that happened before?
last week. Yes.
Okay.
And so in terms of the signage on that, that primarily is, these are those new business items you're,
Yeah, I was just asking, because there's one where it's going from residential to commercial. Just want to make sure that the property owners are aware.
And the date
Let's
is
take a
placed
quick
on the sign.
vote on this consent calendar. We can dig into that one in particular in just a moment, so that we're moving things in the right direction. All in favor on that consent calendar, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Now we'll move on to our new business where we've got our public hearing on the petition to rezone. This one is for property described as Lot 1 at the Howard Hedger First Rearrangement, Lots 11 and 12, Block 4 at 110 2nd Avenue Northeast from commercial to R3. And so it sounds like the one you're primarily concerned about is item B, where they're switching to commercial?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brett, why don't you give us the lowdown on this Howard Hedger?
The petition is requesting the rezoning in order to bring the property in compliance for the use as a residential rental. Staff and Planning Commission recommend approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Norvstrup. Any questions on this one? All right then. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Fauberg.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Norvstrup.
Aye.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Second item is our public hearing on a petition to rezone and possible first reading of the ordinance 220903, rezoning a property described as Lot 1 at the Bloom First Edition, which is physically located at 1801 Eisenhower Circle from R2 and R4 districts to the C1. Brett?
The petition is requesting this rezoning in order to bring the property into a district that will allow for the operation of a tea house. The owners of this property live directly to the south of this property. And when we looked at it as far as rezoning, it had multifamily to the west, multifamily to the east, and another church kitty corner to the northwest. And with the C1 district, the neighborhood commercial district, that is a district that they need approval by the planning commission no matter what they do within that district. So if this use changes from a tea house to something else, the new use would have to come through the planning commission for their approval, thus creating another public hearing for the neighbors.
Thank you, that's very helpful.
And so in terms of the signage that was posted physically on this property itself?
It was posted when we checked it. I can't say if it was posted today still or not, but it was prior to the planning commission meeting.
When you say kitty corner from the church, it's actually set back from Melgard from that church? Or am I thinking of the wrong parcel? This would be directly on Melgard.
If you look at your, the site plan,
Yep.
there is a church to the northwest.
Was that building on that lot currently a church?
It was a church
It
at
was a
one time.
church, yeah.
Oh, isn't there some?
So the house to the due south of the 2802 is the one that's owned by the property owners that are asking for the
2805.
rezoning? The 2805 is owned by the people asking for the zoning?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we've had many people wanting to use this structure for things that we didn't feel was a proper fit for the neighborhood. And we feel that the amount of traffic that a tea house would or wouldn't generate was a better fit, and it fit within that C1 neighborhood commercial district.
Great, thank you.
Can you answer one more quick question for me? The plat up above in the consent calendar, that was for both 1801 and 1805. Is 1805 is their house, right?
That's correct.
And they just included that on the plat?
What they did is, if you look, there's 3 lots there,
Yep.
and they subdivided the lot between the house and the proposed tea house. They're taking part of that lot into the lot for their home. And
Okay.
the other part is going into the lot for the tea house.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilwoman Fulberg?
No
Good.
questions? Thank you.
Jordan, we got a motion on this one? No motion yet. All right, take a motion from the
Move to approve.
Second.
motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilwoman Fulberg. Any other questions from the council before we take our vote on the first reading of this? All right, Jordan, would you go ahead with a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Fulberg.
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate the input. Next, we've got our possible approval of negotiated police and fire union agreements for the 2023 and 2024 year. Possible approval of the resolution 220902R, which ratifies the city's collective bargaining agreements. And Joe, are you on the line there?
I am.
Floor is yours. We're talking about agreements.
All right. Well, for those of you that are new to the council, we have a union for the police and a union for the fire. They negotiate their agreements separately, so they're not together. A couple of years ago, we were able to do a 2-year agreement, so we went in hoping for that again, because that really helps us be a little bit more efficient. But as you look at them, the 2 unions are negotiating separately for their own desires. We try our best as the city team to keep it level. If the fire's getting something, we try and make sure it's also in the police agreement. And I think we probably did as good of a job this year as we've done. I think it was really good between both of us. But the big thing, I think, for the city is several years ago, we brought all of the non-union employees to a PTO system. So all leave, no matter what, it's paid time off. And then there's an ELB for longer term sick leave. And the employees have really liked that. So we took that to both unions and really pushed for that because the employees like it. But it was a big change. So it took a lot to get there. And Ron was heavily involved in that. And there were times we didn't think we were going to get it done. But it really worked while we created some models, and Ron and HR Director Jill Moore really showed them how it works for them. Since they work different schedules, that was difficult. So that was the big thing that we felt as a city we got done. And then also the wages, keeping those market comparable. We always do kind of a statewide search of current wages before we go in. I'll be honest, we're probably in the upper half on police and maybe the lower half on fire. So there was a little bit more on fire than police this year because of that. But overall, we did some cleanup, and I think it works well. Both unions have approved it, and staff recommends approval.
Thanks, Joe.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Any questions for the city manager on this one?
One question, are all the employees in the union then?
Within
Like, are
those
all the
departments?
employees within each of these departments, yeah?
That's correct, isn't it? Dave?
No,
These are
Not-
these are the commissioned officers and sergeants in the police department, and then firefighters, and whether they're paramedics or EMTs, and the lieutenants in the police department. It does not cover the BCs or the chiefs or the captains.
And administrative.
and their administrative staff.
And yes.
No, follow-up question?
Go ahead.
What happens, or how do you handle in the negotiations or in the contracts, workload? So as the city grows and responsibilities of both departments grow, is that negotiated just through budget appropriations, increased budget appropriations to add additional officers or EMTs or whatever
Right,
the need is, or how does that happen?
Yeah, the union agreement has nothing to do with the amount of positions or anything like that. That is done within the budget process. You're correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote on this one, please?
Councilmember Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Nordstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got our possible approval of the 2023 through the 2027 period for rental amounts for the hangar areas at the airport, and possible approval of resolution 220903R with the intent to lease private and executive hangar areas at the airport for 5 years. Ron, you look prepared for this one.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. This is actually a two-part motion. The first part of this will be to approve the rental amounts for the hangar structure areas as recommended by the Aberdeen Airport Advisory Board. Those are modest 2-cent per square foot increases for the next 5 years. I think it's important for the council to understand that we've got two groups of private hangar area lessees out there. We have FBOs that, along with their structures and their hangars out there, they also have some areas in the private hangar area where they are able to do some commercial and other renting for their commercial operations. But then we also have then a number of just tenants, pilots and plane owners who rent a hangar area. All of the structures on there are actually owned by the tenants. And those people are the second part of our motion, which would be to approve a first reading and passage of a resolution of intent to lease to those private tenants these structures. We go through this process. We went through it 5 years ago. It was very painful 5 years ago, I will tell you that. This time was much simpler with a simple recommendation for an increase of the rentals. And now we have to go through this statutory process to release these hangar areas to these private tenants, and all those folks are identified in the resolution itself. So again, just make sure you're noting that you're voting for, one, the motion to approve the increase in the rent, and two, a motion to approve first reading of the resolution of intent to lease.
What made it so painful 5 years ago, Ron?
We reconfigured the lease significantly, and I think there was, given past relationships, there was a lot of questions about that. But we did work through that. It was a lot of debate and discussion. At that time, the airport board worked really hard to help work through all those processes, and we put in place a really solid lease, and that has been able to carry forward without any problems now into this next sign-up of lessees. What's that? Oh.
Would someone like to make a motion for this rental arrangement?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Northstrop and a second from Councilman Liebelt. And since it does involve money, I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call vote on this one as well. Jordan, would you give me the roll call, please?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Abstain.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Foberg.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got our possible approval to authorize the city manager to sign amendments to the amendment number one, to the South Dakota Department of Transportation Section 5310 grant contract numbered 812024, which extends the period of performance for Aberdeen Ride Line to September 30th of the year 2023, as well as increase that contract amount by $3,108. Rich, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Councilors, as Mayor stated, this is a standing approved grant agreement. We're asking for an extension of 1 year till September of 2023. And this will also bring an additional $3,108 to the grant. This is our maintenance and operating grant for Rideline.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Northstrop. Does anyone have any questions for Transportation Director Rich Krokel on this one? Straightforward business. Jordan, would you go ahead with the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Foberg.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Norvstrup.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Thank you. Next, we've got our recommendation to accept all bids for the 2022 and 2023 snow removal season services rent equipment as needed in order of price, as well as to authorize the city manager and finance director to sign the necessary documents after the approval. Robin, I see you on the line there. What can you tell us about these bids?
This is our annual snow removal project, and we need every piece of equipment that has been bid. So we do it in order of cost and try to make sure we utilize the budget as best we can. But in a lot of snows, we're going to need every piece of equipment that's been bid. As you will also see, there was only one wrecker that turned in their bid, but we need 4 to 5 wreckers for every snow. So we contacted the other wrecker services because this is a fixed price contract with our wrecker services. There's real no advantage bidding wise or not, and they've all agreed to do it at the price we've set. So we recommend approval of all bids as presented.
Thank you, Robin. Someone from the council care to carry this one?
Do you need a motion?
I do.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Foberg and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Does anybody have any questions about any of these bids in particular or the process or anything like that for City Engineer Robin Bobzien? All right, then Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Foberg.
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got our presentation of quarterly activities report from the CVB. Casey Wisemantle, their director, is here to present that. Casey, welcome. The floor is yours. Make sure a little green. You got it.
Thanks for having us. First of all, I wanted to take a second or two to introduce our newest staff with the Aberdeen Convention and Visitors Bureau. Grace Chipman comes to us. She's been with us now for just under a month, and she hasn't left us, so we're happy to have her. So, do you want to say a few words? No? All right. No, we're very, very, very fortunate to have her, and we're putting her through her paces immediately. So she's been very well received. In front of you, you have information on our vacation marketing. I spoke to Joe Gah a little bit, and we kind of switched this up a little bit. We wanted to report on vacation marketing as a whole versus quarterly. So give you an update on our vacation marketing as a whole. You look at the website statistics there, the page views, and really I'll touch on 2022. You can see the comparison versus 2021. But for 2022, we had 199,000 page views, unique page views, 159,000. So those are new people coming to our website to check out the information we have to offer. And then moving down, the users, almost 85,000, and new users being 83,000 of those. So again, new people that are checking out our website and gathering that information to hopefully plan that vacation trip to Aberdeen. The top website pages were our homepage, directing people to the homepage right off the bat. Plan your trip or request a vacation guide was number 2. Hotels and finding accommodations was number 3. Play, and in reference to Storybook Land, was number 4. And our calendar of events being number 5. And the CVB, the Cabin Vacation Bundle, that we partner with Parks and Rec to give away lodging accommodations for the upcoming year. So we promote that for the whole calendar year and then give that away the following year. But those were the top 6 pages that our website traffic touched on. Social media obviously doesn't go unnoticed. We're looking at our Facebook impressions of just over 6 million impressions for January through August. Instagram, 214,000, and Twitter, just under 41,000. And you can see those numbers do increase slightly over years past, with Instagram being down a little bit. With social media, it's kind of fickle. You find the avenue or the medium that works best, and you stick with it. Facebook still is our social media platform of choice. Obviously, as the vacationers get younger, they deviate from Facebook into more Instagram and Twitter. But we're still targeting those moms with those families, or those families with little kiddos, and they seem to be trafficking that Facebook platform the strongest. Flipping the page, we're looking at our campaigns, our regular campaigns. We ran 25 campaigns for our vacation marketing, totaling just over 18 million impressions. Those are campaigns that we've utilized in the past and we found work well and work strong for the CVB. We had 83 videos. Catherine in our office loves to do video engagement with our calendar of events and whatever events might be happening in the community that following weekend. We did 83 videos with 151,000 impressions with that. Our email campaign, we send out email notices through Constant Contact. Capturing email addresses in our office is a priority, and then we utilize those email addresses at a later date for email campaigns. But we sent out 19 emails, totaling 105,000 impressions, with an open rate of almost 21%, and a click-through rate of 0.84. Industry standard is 19% and a 1% click-through. So we're still happy with those numbers. People are receiving our information, they are receptive to our information, and they're following through with that click to capture more information as well. New marketing for vacation traffic. South Dakota Public Broadcasting, North Dakota Prairie Public Broadcasting, geofencing, which was kind of new for us, targeting sports shows and travel shows, Facebook social media marketing, some paid social media marketing on Facebook, Nova, that's a new one for us, millennial RVers. So we're not targeting the older generation. We're targeting those millennials that like to, maybe, I think the term is glamp. They like to do glamorous vacation. So we're targeting those millennial RVers. Inspired Home is a North Dakota-based magazine. Regional Travel Guide, and that consisted of the Yellowstone Trail, the Brookings Register, the Fargo Forum, the North Dakota Traveler, and the Oahe View. Forum Communications, what that is we insert a printed material in a newspaper. We target an area, whether it be Bismarck, Valley City, or Fargo, but we insert that a creative advertising piece right into their newspaper so it gets delivered on their doorstep. Of the Minds and Moms, that's one of Catherine's favorites. Again, printed material. And then Go Escape Midwest. As you can see, the impressions for that were quite high. And that was a special travel section in the USA Today. And then digital marketing through CF Digital, a local company here in Aberdeen. So again, this is all new advertising on top of our staple campaign, but this garnered just over 10 million impressions for vacation traffic. Sports show travel season. The Bismarck Tribune Sports Show was held in February. About 11,000 people attended that. The Fargo Sports Show was held in March. Just about 18,000 people attended that. The Sioux Falls Sports Show, 10,000 there. And then the Midwest Travel Network Conference that Catherine attended. We tried to bid that conference to come to Aberdeen in 2023. We were unsuccessful in bidding that, but we still have our hat in the ring. But she traveled to St. Cloud to interact with family travel bloggers and travel writers and such to entice them to come to Aberdeen and take that little quick trip and then blog about it, do video blogs and communication blogs and garner those free impressions. And then digital billboards in Fargo, Jamestown, and Valley City. So underneath all of our travel, vacation, marketing, staple marketing, new marketing, we generated just over 36 million impressions for vacation traffic in Aberdeen. Some of the top destination markets are Sioux Falls, Mitchell, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Fargo, Valley City, Bismarck, Jamestown, and Rapid City. So we kind of look at it. Rapid City is a new one being on the list for us. It's tough to pull people West River over to the east. But we kind of look at the clock scenario. And anything from that 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock is a strong market for vacation travel coming to Aberdeen. So that's what I have for our vacation marketing highlight updates. If anybody has any questions, I try to entertain them.
I'm curious, Casey, on page 2, social media.
Okay.
There was a pretty good drop off on. Were these organic or a combination of organic and paid impressions?
Page 2?
Yeah, it says visit Aberdeen SD vacation social media. You've got this year's numbers compared to the same time last year.
You're talking this page here, right?
No,
I wish I could see that.
there's
far.
only.
I think it's just the page
9
2 in the
rows.
little handout that I've got. It's
Social media.
Okay. The social media, your question was, I'm sorry.
I'm curious, is this a combination of paid and organic
A
traffic,
lot-
or is this
A
primarily?
lot of it is organic, but we do have some paid as well. The paid traffic being part of our new campaign, which was part of our Facebook social media, the digital marketing, garnering 143,000 impressions. That's part of a paid campaign.
And so the fall off in Instagram and Twitter, was it because of your guys' engagement in those categories?
Yeah, just realizing that Facebook is our breadwinner and trying to stick with that as much as possible. Yeah.
Question: how do you know Facebook's your breadwinner?
Just based on our the feedback we get and the impressions and reach that we get versus the other platforms. Our follower rate is quite a bit higher. Our Facebook followers, the impressions 6 million for January through August, and roughly about 6 million that same time last year. But the impressions with Instagram, 214 million versus 459 million. We're actually down on Instagram quite a bit. And then the Twitter impressions, the 40,000 versus the 103, again down. But Facebook seems to be where we capture the most engagement on our end.
Can I keep asking questions, Mayor?
Yeah,
Go ahead. What have you got?
So if you're targeting moms, young moms, what about TikTok and Pinterest?
We have a Pinterest account. We're not overly active in it at the moment. We haven't pulled the trigger on TikTok yet. My dance moves are not up to. No, I'm just kidding. We've talked about it. We've thrown it around the office, and a lot of it is not saying we don't have time for it, but again, a lot is you have 3 social media platforms here plus possibly 2 more, and then still getting the rest of our work done on top of this. But there is a need for it. Obviously, TikTok being the newest trend, I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest with you, but we have kicked around the idea of starting a TikTok account. Actually, to answer your question a little bit, I've thrown around the idea with TikTok with Catherine, who's kind of our social media guru, and she has strong engagement with Facebook Reels. So the Reels that she does on Facebook, she has pretty good feedback and strong engagement on that. So I think we've just, not that we're not opposed to TikTok, we just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Thank you, Casey. Anything else from the council? Questions?
I have so many more questions.
No, if you have questions, please.
So if you have, I'm trying to figure out on the one that says South Dakota where'd it go? The one that had 18 million. There it is. The Visit Aberdeen, South Dakota Vacation Promotion Digital Marketing, that one?
Yep.
How do you get 18 million impressions from?
The 25 campaigns?
Yeah.
And I apologize, I didn't break that out just because it wasn't new marketing for us. That could be anything from Midwest Living, that could be anything from Good Housekeeping. We get the information back from the media companies where their circulation, their reach, and their potential impressions. And we have to go off the media package that they give us. But it could be advertising Glacial Lakes and Prairie Tourism, South Dakota Tourism, the impressions that go along with that. And again, Good Housekeeping. You help pay some of these bills. What are some other ones? Good Housekeeping.
So are these different than the campaigns on the next page? So this is like something where a company is coming and saying, if you advertise with us, you'll get X number of impressions, and then you're advertising with them?
The page that has the 25 campaigns with the 18 million impressions, those are our staple. We advertise with those. Those are our year after year staple advertising.
But what do you mean? I guess I just don't know enough to understand what you mean by that.
And then the next page, where it has Visit Aberdeen Vacation Marketing, you'll look under those are new marketing campaigns.
Right, but with the 25 campaigns that are year after year,
yes.
those you're saying like you're advertising. One of those 25 campaigns might be you're advertising on Good Housekeeping. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yep.
Okay, so then you add all of those together and you get to 18 million.
Yes. Yep. And there's some big hitters in there. South Dakota Tourism, they garner high impressions and high reach. Red Book, Good Housekeeping. I'm sorry, I don't.
No,
have
that's okay.
List in front of me, but
I'm just curious. I like this kind of stuff. I'm a researcher, so you're gonna always get in trouble when you put numbers.
No, you're
not in trouble, by the way.
And
you're gonna get questions.
And prior to the meeting too, I was like, okay, we
got to get ready for
have to have numbers. I mean, numbers say yes and numbers say no.
So. But I mean, how do you know that's good? I guess like 18 million is a lot, but how do we know that they're coming to South Dakota or coming to Aberdeen or clicking through?
We know that by tracking our occupancy tax and our SIC codes, and that was kind of the thing I was going to end on. Our occupancy for vacation travel at the moment is right on par, to slightly above par. But the plus side about that is the people that are coming to visit here are spending money, and that's a good thing. So even industry-wide, where they're seeing numbers that are below par, Aberdeen is slightly above par from where we were at the same time last year on vacation travel. But the nice thing about it is the money that's being spent, the money that Aberdeen is reporting back to the state, the money is up.
That makes sense.
So we're almost looking at the vacation traffic hasn't increased leaps and bounds like you want. I mean, you always want to hit a home run. It hasn't increased leaps and bounds, but the people that are coming are spending money. So we're looking at that as a positive, as we're getting quality versus quantity.
Got it. So then how do your campaigns, like the new vacation marketing campaigns,
Yep.
do those intersect at all with the events that are held in Aberdeen that are advertised through, let's say, like, are supported by the Hotel Alliance funds? So let's say there's something like the Storybook Land Festival is
Yep.
getting money from the Hotel Alliance.
Yes.
Then do you then try to synchronize and have special marketing pushes on this side toward the things that you're also funding on the other side?
We do. And the Hotel Alliance partners with Robert Sharp and Associates out of Rapid City. So they handle all of the marketing aspect of the Hotel Alliance. So their numbers aren't even in this. This is just what we do.
Okay.
So, but they market with RSA out of Rapid City. But yes, so if we're hosting Storybook Land Festival or Arts in the Park or USA BMX or Storybook Land on Court, we're going to have a timely message that comes right along with that, because it makes sense to piggyback off of work that somebody else is doing as well. Yes.
Okay, and my last question
Yeah.
is on the one with the new marketing campaigns,
Okay.
where there's an asterisk that says 4.1 million
Yep.
among North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Wyoming.
Yes.
Is that out of the 10 million then?
Nope. That is the 2.2 and the 1.9 added together. Just
Got it.
telling you that is an effort with South Dakota Public Broadcasting, North Dakota, South Dakota, but actually that crossed over into Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Wyoming as well.
Okay.
So just putting a little mental note there is all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey. Anyone else from the council have any clarification to garner from this? And Casey's always readily available at an email or phone call too, I've discovered over the
Please.
years.
Or stop by. We'd love to have visitors. It increases our traffic total.
Are these
But-
bad numbers, Casey? What are you talking about? The city council visiting your office?
I would love to have you guys stop by. You guys know you're always welcome. But and I did load this information. We have a page on our website that's open to the city council, so you can feel free to look at a lot of that information at any time. I did send out the link to the city council as well, and Mayor Schoeneman and City Manager Guy. And then there's some highlights on there. There's some video highlights, which we're real proud of. Catherine in our office does a great job to promote the calendar of events and to promote attractions. Whether it's Storybook Land Festival, Levity, or Thunder Road. I mean, we're always there trying to look for a new angle to promote an attraction or an event, along with delivering information on the calendar of events. So,
One thing with that, do you want to say what's coming up on Thursday?
what's Thursday? My mind's. Oh yeah, thank you. Yes. So Thursday, we haven't switched from vacation to hunting
Sorry.
yet, but no, you're fine. So this Thursday, and I would like to extend this welcome to the city council and anybody listening, Joe Public. We are hosting a pup crawl on Malchow Plaza, and this is going to be part of our Rooster Rush activities or submission. And what is a pup crawl? PUP. What is a pup crawl? You ask. It's just a dog social. We're going to be on Malchow Plaza this Thursday from 4 to 7. Bring your four-legged dogs and hang out and have a great time and meet other dogs and greet other dogs. But the Aberdeen Wings hockey team is going to be there serving hot dogs, concessions. There's going to be hot dogs available for free will donation. And then all the money raised goes towards the Pet Rescue League and the Humane Society. So
That's fun.
Good.
it's kind of a fun event and involve the dogs. So
Thanks, Casey. Thanks for bringing that up, Justin.
yes, thank you.
Next,
Got
we've got our review and approval of our claims and payroll. We've got the bills for this week, the 26th of September, and the payroll for the period of September 11th through the 24th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Northstrup. Jordan, would you give us our final vote of the night? Roll call
Councilmember
vote anyways.
Councilmember Fulberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Schoeneman.
I will, but I will abstain from the payment to Sewer Duck this week. Motion does carry. Since Joe is on the road, he has checked out and will not be providing a city manager's report, so I have nothing else for any of you. We'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
A motion from Councilwoman Boberg and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. Thank you all very much.